Do you want to level up your art? In this video, I'm showing you every tool that I use, from my favorite pens to my desk setup. This is a full breakdown. And the best part, you can grab these tools too to elevate your own artwork starting today. Let's get into it. The Yissan black drawing pen set. First up, this is my go-to black pigment liner set for almost every drawing that I do. This set has been with me through so many drawings and I love how versatile it is. You get a full range of nib sizes, which is essential. I often begin a portrait with a 0.3mm or a 0.5mm pen for rough foundational shapes, say the jaw lines, the eye sockets, the nose guides. Then I move to a finer 0.1mm for the hair texture, and then I also use the more of the brush pens throughout this set. The ink quality is top notch. It's rich, deep black, and it dries quickly as well, and it doesn't smudge, which is ideal when I'm working fast or layering over with pencil. The flow is really smooth, there's no skipping, and the grip is comfortable enough to use for an hour-long life drawing session without fatigue. One thing that I appreciate about this set is the range it gives me in terms of tone and texture, just by switching nibs. I also find it really useful in warm-up sketching, where I want to build tone quickly without overcoming to a thick outline. It's a personal favourite, not just because of its performance, but also because it's really affordable compared to some other high-end sets that don't offer this kind of consistency. If you're a beginner to drawing and you're looking for pen sets, I really do recommend this one. And if you want to see this pen in more action, check out my detailed pen review in the top right corner there. I go into more detail about what makes this set special and how it compares to others I've used. STAEDTLER 3001 TB18 double-ended. Now that was a bit of a mouthful. I use this constantly. It's become one of my staples, whether I'm doing quick color portraits, adding detail to ink drawings, or just loosening up during sketchbook time. You get 2 tips on each pen. A fine tip for detail, really useful for line and hatching, and a more of a brush pen for thicker lines and color fills. It's a combination that makes this pen set really versatile. The colors are super vibrant and the set comes in 18 or 36. I have the 18 set at home, which still gives me a great variety. It's lightweight, easy to carry, and the design of the pens is simple but sturdy. Be careful with bleed through though, especially if you go in hard with the broad end. I recommend using a heavy cartridge paper or sketchbook designed for markers, but when you do that, it really does shine and it won't bleed through to the other end. I found the broad tip great for expressive work. Sometimes I'll lay down color blocks quickly and then go back in with the fine tip to sharpen it all up. It works beautifully for stylized portraits where I want bold color next to fine lines. STAEDTLER as a brand is super reliable and I've been using their tools for years, and this one is a solid recommendation. Winsor and Yissan brush markers. These are a bit of a step up and they're definitely more expensive than the previous pen set. The brush end is super flexible and smooth and gives a painterly feel that makes colouring portraits and also other artworks feel fluid and really expressive. The opposite end has a flat chisel-like tip, great for laying down broad colour shapes or bold graphical elements. Compared to the STAEDTLERs, these are definitely inkier. They bleed more, they blend better and carry more pigment, which means you'll want even more heavier paper. Even thick sketchbook paper might not be enough, so just watch out for that. They also have a very strong alcohol-based smell. Not the worst, but it's definitely noticeable. I've in the past have been drawing with them, and I've actually covered my own nose with my t-shirt just to cover that smell. So it is quite strong. So if you're quite sensitive to smells, then this might not be the pen set for you, but it's not too bad. You do get used to it. I do tend to use this pen set more sparingly in the final stages or when I need a real punch of colour. I wouldn't build a whole sketchbook page out of them, but they're used as more of an adjacent tool, and I do really like them. One trick I use often is to apply these over a base sketch, so either a pencil or pen, and then refine edges with Posca pens or colour pencil. You get amazing results combining media like that. If you're finding this video helpful so far, give this video a like, hit subscribe to the Portrait Guru, and drop me a comment below with the tools you love the look of or what you use in your own process. Pentel Art Oil Pastels. So I don't use these daily, but when I do, it's to break up my usual rhythm and add some more texture and unpredictability to my drawing. They go thick and buttery and offer a soft, rich colour that almost feels like painting with your fingers. They can be smudged, layered, or left rough, depending on your style. I tend to use them at the very end of the piece, just to add highlights, a pop of texture, or a strong block of contrast. Keep in mind though, once the oil pastel is down, it's very difficult to draw over it with pencil or pen. So I treat them as a top layer, more like a finishing tool than something I build a full piece with. They're super affordable and great for experimenting with tone and colour in a different way. If you want to loosen up or get out of a rut, this could be your wild card tool. Arteza 48 Expert Colour Pencils. So this pencil set is hands down one of my best I've ever used. I absolutely love it. Most of the pencils are worn down to absolutely nothing, and I really need to replace it. That should tell you everything you need to know. These offer amazing pigment and they layer really, really nicely. Whether I'm doing fine shading on a cheekbone, or I'm working on a landscape, or just building up colour on clothing, these pencils deliver. You don't need to press hard to get a solid tone, and they blend really well together when you layer from light to dark. They also sharpen really clearly, which isn't the case with cheaper pencils. I've had sets that just snap or crumble, but not these. The tin makes this really portable, and the layout makes it easy to keep colours organised. It's a perfect set if you're working on location, in a cafe, or just on the go. I often combine these with pen work. They sit really well over ink and help me create pieces that feel more rounded and more illustrative. If you're looking for a go-to colour set, this is a full recommendation. Posca Pens, PC, 3M, and also others. If you've seen some of my Instagram, my other videos or shorts, you might have spotted these. They bring a boldness to my work that few other tools can match. I use this set probably most often. It's the 0.9 to 1.3mm size, great for outlines, details, or even blocky accents. But I use thicker and thinner versions depending on what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll grab a thick Posca pen to do a background swipe, or a fine tip for eyelashes or the eye themselves. What I love most is how rich and opaque the colour is. These aren't markers, they're paint pens, and they sit on the surface of the paper like you would see in a gouache or an acrylic painting. You can layer them up over pretty much anything: pencil, ink, your shoes, on the wall, anything. They dry quickly, they don't bleed, and the colour range is absolutely perfect. Reds, deep blues, hot pinks, all really punchy. They even work on wood, fabric, plastic. I use them obviously mostly in my sketchbook, canvases, and also canvas boards. Posca pens are addictive, and if you haven't tried them yet, you're definitely missing out. So if I had to pick just one tool to add energy to a piece, it would be Posca Pens. Desk setup, overhead tripod and light. Now just a quick behind the scenes look at my desk setup. I use an overhead tripod with a clamp arm which holds my phone or camera directly above my sketchbook. This is what I use to film my drawing tutorials, time lapses and process videos. There's an LED ring light attached above which helps keep shadows even and colours true on camera. So that's it. That's my full art drawing toolkit, the pens, the markers, the pastels, and I highly recommend you checking out this video coming up.